Hello, you're being asked to trust and believe that you're connecting with more soul family at this time, that you're not doing things alone, and that you're invited to allow your inner child expression to come through and to be in the energy of creativity and play, to allow that joy to come out as an expression of you, no longer allowing the intellect or any patterns and energies to hold you back from simply being you. In you being more you in authenticity, you allow the true version of you to come out and allow the resonance of that to meet you in truth and in harmony, in love and joy, in vulnerability and authenticity and courage and fire and passion. Going through some cards now. We've got soul family, so you're connecting with them. You're being invited to play, and you take it as it resonates with what that means. And it's in pure presence in the now and following your childlike curiosity. And the child energy has come out in how you may have felt suppressed in the past, or maybe going against your own inner child at present in the Five of Swords energy. If you can see that, this authoritative figure coming down over and, condescending or belittling or dimming down the light of the child, and how you may be doing that to yourself through perpetuated cycles. I am going to speak on this as generational family, especially within the family of origin system. It's the one that is most ingrained in our programming, in how if we come into the planet as higher vibrational, we can feel dimmed down by parental figures who do this out of either, whether it's manipulative tactics, it is in systems of control, or it is fear. It is programs of fear, worry, and doubt. It may even be out of their perceived best interest of protecting you, when from the state of joy, that joy being suppressed, it is bringing it down to it. It's not really love in allowing the full radiance and shine of the expression, where you are not harming yourself and others. Very important to point out. And you're being asked at this time to dim that voice, to let this be in the reverse, to stand up and shine, to rise, to allow that inner child expression to come out. A beautiful healing session this morning with someone who identified with this, and the mother wound, and the mother being overprotective and controlling, and the mother being unstable in their own emotions, and in how the child felt dimmed down and unable to connect with their true emotions themselves, in pandering to the parental figure, in caring for the parental figure, in being attuned to the emotions of the parent, and people pleasing or acting differently, performing, showing up differently, not being the authentic expression of yourself in order to create safety or peace or balance or harmony for yourself in your environment and in your reality, or in order to receive love so that you're not abandoned or rejected or criticized or whatever that may be. And it's an unequal sense. This harmony is coming back through in tarot cards that were coming out. But this energy here of King of Swords came out, and it was in reverse, which is like being wary of any manipulation going on, where you may feel that you're being psychologically, emotionally manipulated to pander to someone else's needs or wants or desires from you, when you are asked to be simply yourself, to allow yourself to be yourself as a reclamation of who you are unapologetically, that your emotions, your experience, your reality matter. And that may sound highly narcissistic, and we're all narcissistic to some extent. And if this has been your upbringing, your background, your healing comes from healing that inner child wound and allowing yourself to truly be in your expression, no longer allowing this intellectualizing or criticizing manipulation to go on from the external reality. And very strongly, I'm getting is, more importantly, not with yourself. That if you've ingrained those programs into you, if you've taken them on, and if you have a very strong inner critic, to dismantle those things, to zoom out and observe how that voice is not even you, it's not the truth of who you are, to be softer and gentle and nourishing, and be a mother in a nurturing, caring, soothing, soft way, allowing your body to relax. I was doing breathwork practices to show and demonstrate nervous system relaxation with someone this morning, who instantly, within 1 minute of practice, felt her energy was completely shifted. And she had this practice to move forward with in any moment of any day, that it's not outsourced to when you go on a retreat, when you go to a class, when you do something, that you're seeking something outside of you, but coming into embodiment within you, in being the energy that you want to be. If you're feeling in a state of panic, that you give yourself to safety. You breathe it into your body, you root in that energy of yours and stay rooted and grounded by being in nature and rooting yourself in back into your own energy, breathing back into your own body, visualizing that you're connecting down into your root chakra and just planting roots down into the ground, that you're rooted by Mother Earth, you are held, you are protected, you are supported. Even if you were traveling in motion on a bus or in a car, to visualize and feel that as you were in motion, you're also being carried. You're being held, that you're being helped along the way on your journey, which is a beautiful feeling and sensation and belief to why you're in, that you're not alone and that you're guided and carried and supported. And in stillness, equally, as you breathe, to know that you're surrounded by your angels, your ancestors, your guides, your spirit team, who are wanting to communicate with you. Energy of communication was also coming out today, in keeping communication lines open to receive messages from your guides. Okay, very strong. You are shedding old patterns and old versions of you. And this can be an energy of feeling an ego death, that you die literally to give birth to a new version of you. And what does have to die is things you no longer want to show up for, things you no longer want to entertain. So if the past comes knocking around again and you want to break a cycle, it is on you to be different in the energy. If you want to get into questioning whether or not people change, even zoom back out of that, come back into your own energy and ask yourself if you can change, because you are essentially the only thing you truly can transform and change, and be interested in or bothered by wanting to change. And anything else, you can just let it be, allow, accept it. It's there. You're only capable of truly changing and transforming within yourself. And when you allow the shedding and the ego death, you allow yourself to die to a new version of you rising up from within you. And in softness, this is coming through. And the energy of play, you connect back into your natural state of being a child again, in curiosity and wonder and joy and questioning and being open, being on an adventure, on a quest, and being in them now and being present and being, wouldn't it be wonderful? I wonder what's happening now. I could go over here. Oh, look at that. What inspiration is that giving me? What could I make out of this? Who could I go and speak to? Or how can I show this to my friend? All of these simple, innocent, childlike purity coming out. It is important to have discernment and not to allow yourself to be dimmed down by any energies that seek to manipulate, to control, to dominate, to dim you, to suppress that shine and light and radiance that you're here to share, that is rightfully yours by birthright. You don't allow these energies to dictate anything, that you dominate your day through the radiance of your inner being. Any experience that you want to generate within you, you generate it within your own body, and this is embodiment. And this makes you a true powerhouse in how you feel you don't actually want or need anything, because you are and have everything. We do all have basic needs in terms of needing water or food and clothing, shelter, and all of these kind of things. And we take care of our own needs to the best of our ability. We show up as the expression of ourselves to the best of our ability. And the more we're in our joyful, natural, abundant state, the more we're truly magnetic to all that we require. And we see that energy of wholeness mirrored back to us in the mirror principle, in truly bringing wonder and awe and magic, and being in that childlike nature again of joyful glee, of making discoveries, of having quests to go on, of wondering and exploring and learning and sharing and growing and contributing. And it's just making me, I'm feeling a very happy, gleeful, hee hee kind of energy coming through, which is beautiful. And this is the Eight of Wands energy of really following your purpose and passion, like full fire there, and happiness and joy following that. And it's saying that there is a positive outcome here on the cards for you, that following the simplicity. Simplicity is a huge message of when your mind is overwhelmed or there's too much going on, there's too much in your space. This can block the flow of abundance or block new energies from coming in, because there's too much noise, there's too much going on, it's too scattered, there's too much. But if there's things that you can remove from your environment, if you feel invited to clean your spaces, to know that if you do this with intention of releasing and giving appreciation and being in gratitude, you instantly come onto a beautiful frequency where you're inviting in new energy, giving love to the space that you have, simplifying, giving away things that you no longer want or need, and being in joy and appreciation for how you may share something with another who may benefit from it in some shape or form is a truly beautiful thing. And through giving, you receive. As I give, I receive. As I receive, I give. This is keeping and generating energy of abundance and energy exchange in your reality. And beautiful to do that from purity of intention and with gratitude, consciousness. The Two of Cups energy comes in of how help is. I'm hearing Mrs. Doubtfire. Help is on the way, dear. How you have divine assistance coming in to support you, that you may have felt restricted or limited, and these limitations and restrictions are being released now. Divine angelic importance, and it was coming to me, support is coming in. It's important to be open to receiving this and to know that in your childlike wonder, in your fullness and wholeness and certainty and embodiment, that you simply know that this is here. And in divine timing on your frequency shifts, so you become the frequency match to receiving. And you can feel that you're bound or restricted or stuck, or you can liberate yourself through your frequency of knowing with certainty that this is here. And therefore, you get to alter and change the state that you are in when your team come in. You can be sitting on the beach, free and liberated, joyful and dancing, waiting to receive them or wanting to receive them, celebrating receiving them. But this is a reminder of embodiment and how we can choose to be stuck or in suffering, or we can allow our energy to flow. We can stop looking for answers or seeking validation or looking for signs or signals and be in the energy of certainty of course. Of course it's here, of course it's working out, of course more is coming to me. I simply need to be in my childlike wonder, awe, gratitude and play, and to contribute and to give and be in the flow of abundance, be following the laws of the universe. And I know that creation is already done, it is mine. And this is saying here in the Nine of Pentacles that your hard work is paying off. And this is not necessarily in your productivity, but through the discipline of your embodiment and the radiance of your being. And how that itself is a discipline to master in emotional self-mastery, in relaxing your nervous system, in truly being in a surrendered state within your own energy, in moving towards what you were working on and building in that embodied energy. Your rewards are already here. Other messages, as I had mentioned, we had simplicity, keeping things light as a feather, and you being light as a feather in your own energy. It's so beautiful. It also gives me energy of guardian angels watching over you and how you are your own guardian angel. That you are your own hero in the whole story. To find a sacred simplicity and have clarity in your life. Beautiful bird singing. The simplicity of sharing the sound of your voice, that you have a unique tone. I've seen others share this again recently, and how through your humming or mantra chanting, the Aum or Om Mani Padme Hum or Wahe Guru Wahe Jio, whichever ones that you want to chant and hum, that vocal toning cleanses and purifies your energy field as a spiritual practice and for energy cleansing. You instantly remove any negative energy from your field through broadcasting the sound of your voice, because you're vibrating at the sound of your truth and your true frequency, meaning that nothing that is not a match to that can be in your energy field. So it's a beautiful practice for spiritual hygiene to do humming or mantra chanting simply to purify your own energy and to broadcast the signal of who you are, so more of what is in a resonance to that frequency and that sound can magnetize itself to you. That's beautiful and exciting. Thank you, birds, for the reminder. Only do what matters. And that can be caring for you, caring for your spaces, allowing divine prompting and inspiration to come through, taking action on what your higher self is guiding you to do with joy and play and freedom and fun. Release everything else. Simplify your life. Scan all areas and clear both internal and external clutter. Rest, rejuvenate, and only participate in what is truly important to you. Relinquish everything else. Do not delay. Do it now. When your life is cluttered with objects, relationships, time constraints, and emotions, there's no room for spirit. There's too much static and too much stuff to connect with, to connect to your soul. The smallest amount of clutter clearing can bring the biggest difference. You are literally inviting new energy in and the flow. I'm loving the sound of those birds and hearing them. They're absolutely beautiful. And in doing that, you tap into this potential. I'm aware of the volcanic eruptions in Hawaii recently, and how at Maui, that is one of the heart chambers of the world in terms of the four chambers of the heart, and one being over Hawaii. And there's this Mother Earth has a heartbeat herself, and how this seems to be this expanded consciousness and this awakening through Gaia herself, raising and expanding in level of consciousness and evolving. And our healing is not only individual, it's in the collective. And as we collectively heal, we are also impacting and affecting the earth and the transitory changes that Gaia is going through herself. And we can be tremendously supportive to her through our own nervous system regulation, through our own breathwork practices, through our coming back to our hearts and connecting in gratitude, through willingly and intentionally wanting to send energy through our vessels and channel to her, in being that frequency and being that energy, and coming together in groups to do that together is powerfully impactful for supporting Gaia, and how that benefits us all in getting to create more heaven and forward future generations to come, in supporting the earth herself. Potential. This card appears when you are ready to activate your potential and step into your strength. This is the time to activate those gifts that you've had on the back burner in your life. You have incredible untapped potential. This is the time to allow it to flow. An inner wellspring of power is emerging. You have a profound spiritual power that is deep within you. Do not doubt your great authority and capabilities. A dormant volcano might indicate that you have uncomfortable emotions that you are repressing or keeping inside, thus creating emotional stress and inner pressure. It can also mean that you're on the verge of a great expansion of energy and life force. The clients I've recently connected with, I've felt a range of emotions from flares in the liver around the right side of the body, up the back to the right lung, indicating some wounding of the masculine energy on the right side of the body, and that pain in the liver, a repressed anger, in not allowing the expression of anger, in feeling anger is there and not wanting to allow or confront it, perhaps through being afraid to let that out, afraid of what it may make you face about yourself, as in your own shadow, and how you may have attachments to it and narratives of, if you're angry, you're a bad person, all of it, looking at what you may attach to that. And it's not necessarily true. Healthy anger is a good thing. And in fact, your anger is an expression of your own love, where you feel that there has been an injustice, and you feel you've been wronged or you've been harmed, or something has not been the way that you feel or perceive it should have been. When we can give that up and say all has been perfect, because it's been an invitation, all is an act of love, an invitation to your own self-love. And when you allow the releasing of that anger within you and see it as your love rising from within you, that you love yourself enough to feel your anger and to feel it and to alchemize it and say, I love myself so much, of course I'm angry about this. And to let that take you into a new level of you that has alchemized and embodied greater love within, that's not seeking to harm, that's not seeking to retaliate or get revenge, it's not even bothered by any of that, but simply claiming greater love within. I've got Whitney Houston in my head. The greatest love is happening to me. It's happening within you, absolutely. And that grief over shedding and letting go is attached to the lung, and that is the shedding energy. We are in the wood snake year, and that is grieving the life we didn't have. Grieving the fact is coming out as a fact that you may feel that you didn't get to be who you really were sooner. And just letting all that go and saying, well, I get to be who I am now. I get to be in my childlike nature now. I get to be in my fun and enjoyment and presence now. I get to be who I am now. and all is in the eternal now. And I can send love to it all. And this can come up in how everything is now. You can send healing intentionally to a former version of yourself. And in doing so, you shift the energy of that timeline, and you shift automatically through doing that, through that expression of love and sending and transmitting love to that timeline. You are different. You are instantly transformed in the now because that version of you has received a healing. So therefore, the story is not the same, and you have transformed it. You can intentionally meditate on these scenes or experiences that you want to perhaps revisit and reframe and just give love to and alchemize it. Imagine that you're pouring liquid love over whatever that scene is. You alchemize it then and you alchemize it now. And then you go forward in presence as this new version of you. Excuse me, I had someone coming over asking if I needed anything. But okay, gross. But so we're shedding the free state. But notice what comes up in you as a pattern or a reaction, where you're like, I know what's happening here and why. And to transform it and give love to it and say, that's not me anymore. That's not me anymore. And then you become the new version of you, which is more rooted and grounded in the truth of who you are, and allowing yourself to be in your play and ease in your body and flow. So what else? Other messages from clients. I was seeing how this woman I connected with recently seems to suppress. It is essentially that Five of Swords energy was suppressing her own joy as a repetitive loop of how she felt she experienced her family of origin, and how it was a dangerous thing for her to be in her joy because she'd be distracted from it or reprimanded or controlled. And therefore, she had taken on this way of being with herself, in controlling her reality, in constantly being in repetitive patterns of perfectionism and seeking to do things in order to generate the state that she wanted. Like, I'm going to clean this room again and then I'll feel better. And we were looking at how, well, imagine that the room is clean. How do you feel? And that she's visualizing and feeling and talking about the sensation that she has. And then I'm saying, can you feel that feeling now? Like, visualize and imagine, put that feeling in your body now, that the room is clean and how you feel. And feel it and activate the state now. And then the next time there's a plan that comes up and you feel the room is not clean, but you'd rather go meet your friends or go do something fun and be in your play and not criticize yourself for just leaving something. Can you activate the feeling of it's done and it's okay and I'm all good? And therefore you can change and break that pattern in giving yourself the feeling state and knowing all is well. I'm safe to follow my happiness. I'm safe to be at my play, rather than repeating the pattern of that inner critic or self-control where you're not allowing the childlike expression to come out, or the creativity and the flow of harmonious energy, if you're with me. And there's someone else I'd connected to who felt this kind of energy through, not through anyone being in an energy of control, but through energy absorption, through absorbing the feeling and emotional state of the parental figure, and that being taken on into their energy field, and feeling that there will be times that they'd be overwhelmed by that through taking it on. It's so important to observe if this is speaking to you. If you're tuning to others all the time, it's a safety mechanism, it's a defense mechanism, it's protective, it's a psychic ability and gift also. And it's so important to come back into honoring your own inner child by doing spiritual practices to honor your energy. And as I was recommended for that person, to have showers where you visualize the water cleansing not only your physical body but your emotional field, your mental field. We have auric fields to the etheric template, the catheric template, to wash the whole seven horrors of your layers of the aura of your body, and intend and to speak to the universe, like cleanse any energies and emotions that are not mine from my field, restore all my energy back to me. I call all my power back to me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And so it is done. And to feel when you step out of the shower, you're not just clean, but you're transformed back into just being in your own energy and being more you. And it's a practice to take care of you and to say that, to speak to the universe. I release all energies and emotions that are not mine. I call on my power and energy back to me. I'm open to lines of communication from my guides, direct and support me. Thank you, thank you. And meditate on that and allow yourself the expression, not to let fear or doubt or worry or whatever it may be to hold you back from truly emerging, allowing what's coming from you. I'd said this morning that nobody, no certification or program or anything can teach you how to be more you, because it's simply coming from you. And we all know, if we do the deep dive and the deep work, we all know the ways we hold ourselves back. We all know our addictive tendencies if we can look at them. And it takes doing that deep internal work. And in another session this morning, I had with somebody who I was feeling and sensing when I had my hand over her head and her heart, that she had a fear of doing a deep dive. And I was also getting it like, I can't breathe, I can't breathe. I'm swallowing a lot of water. And an image to a past life death where she had died through drowning. And coming out of the session and talking about it afterwards, I said, there's something that in you that you're afraid to go deep in, like deep into your own waters. And are you afraid? You're afraid of water? And she goes, oh my God, yes. And her husband says she won't even go into the sea. I mean, she'll only put her feet in and that's it. And she's not really able to explain why. And I'm saying how you have your body remembers literally, and the body remembers the things not only from this lifetime, but from previous lifetimes in the energy and the energetics, and you have a memory of having died in a past life in drowning. And that's why, through your energy, your body remembering, it's a protective mechanism, not wanting you to repeat that lived experience from the past. And she's finding it makes sense. And I said, simply bringing awareness to it, you can break the cycle and you can liberate yourself by confronting your fear because you know the origin. And even just giving voice to being seen or validated or heard, you can give voice to that truth that activates something in you which can liberate you. And you may face that fear. You may even take up swimming lessons now, knowing that as you push through the barrier, you get to the other side and you may even ignite more happiness and see more of the magic of who you are and how capable you are of being and doing anything that you want to achieve. And it's not that you necessarily have to do that if you still are happy not going in the water. Take it as it resonates for you. If there's a phobia or fear there, it's not always pertaining to this lifetime, especially if this is resonating with you, you find that there's something that comes up for you and you've no recollection, you've no memory in this from youth, that of why you would be afraid of something or why you resist something. It's a past life memory. And it's a defense mechanism that comes in, and we can look at these and break those cycles. So if there's anything else that wants to come in, and then how this generational thing with families as well, with feeling suppressed or dimmed down, it's like this person has been this child. This is like going around in cycles that they were dimmed down or suppressed or manipulated or controlled, and they've taken on and absorbed that energy and repeat the cycle. And through all of the generations, we've got, say, farmers with their children on the land, wanting the children to learn how to maintain the animals, the livestock, all the work, and then perhaps them feeling they want the freedom to expand their horizons and go further afield. And then we've got then the next generation growing up in cities and working all the time and hustle and grind and then wanting to provide everything for their kids. You've got all these extracurricular activities, you've got all of this stuff, all these material consumption and yada yada, all the gifts that you want for your birthday. Let's, show everybody how much we have. And then the child probably just wanting pure presence, just wanting, to have a real conversation. And then that person going into starting their family being overly concerned about the emotional experience of their children, and that child and that family probably feeling that the parents are just too intense and they just need things to be simple and easy and just to have some breathing space. So, it just all gets passed on and passed down. And the more conscious that we are, and there are more conscious children, more indigo children coming into the planet that are higher vibrational at this time. And it's beautiful to see more conscious parents truly just being present and listening to their children and allowing them to be more and to take in the lessons and to return to reclaiming the inner child within and being in play and wonder and allowing, no matter what your age, to be a big kid, to be the child again. I had someone say to me this morning, how old are you? And they were like, I thought you were over 10 years younger. This is amazing. And I did say how, and I'm not speaking myself, big talking myself up here, but saying how I do feel younger in the sense that I'm just no longer going to go against myself, that I'm just allowed to be me. It's giving myself permission to be me, to be the expression of me. And was saying equally to her, the more you follow that, the more you follow your inner child expression and your childlike wonder and being the big kid and not allowing anything to dim you down, that you're claiming your joy. See, the more you will see you reverse your aging, because you feel rejuvenated. You're literally rejuvenating yourself from within. You're more joyful and in childlike wonder. You look radiant, you glow more, you look younger, you're in health. You revitalize yourself. You are healthy. You're pouring into your health. You're pouring into your play and your creativity and your joy and just allowing the simple expression of your being and holding that embodiment and frequency of trust and certainty and surrender in awe, in reverence for the divine and the sacred, knowing that this is what you are here to experience, what you're here to create, how you can pour into what you're doing, using this energy in gratitude, in discipline and dedication and devotion, also for any hard work that you do, without losing the sense of that inner child within, in what you are doing things for, in who, in the version of you that you're doing things for, who you're celebrating, who you're showing up for, who you're standing up for, who you're loving, who this is for. At the end, it's for every single version of you in whatever you do. So a lot of messages coming through today, and it is so simple. I mean, it sounds like when we take a long journey to get to a very profound, simple truth. Yet there is strong messages here of needing to move away from anything that you feel is the energy of manipulation. You know better now. You can see these things instantly. The things I used to have doubt about or question or feel, should I, shouldn't I? How can I be the bigger person? That's all gone. You're seeing things for what they are. You're knowing what is suppressing your joy, and you're saying, no, I get to be in my play. This is my time. Diana Ross, it's my turn. It's your turn. Let me know if this message resonates with you. Thank you for liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. You're very welcome to step in for empowerment coaching with me, an energy healing session for intuitive insights, where I read your energy and may have messages to share with you or guide you in understanding more of your own gifts that you can amplify even more and expand in the radiance of your being and being in greater wholeness of your own expression that allows you to take off in wondrous, magical ways. You can step into attunements to Golden Terramite Reiki with me. I would absolutely love to facilitate for those this resonates with. Thank you again. Wishing you a beautiful rest every day. Sending you lots of love.